We think this was one of the earliest Egyptian spaces in an English country house. It was built in 1803 by the Marquis of Buckingham, and the earliest records coming out of Egypt were 1802 with Baron Vivant de Nantes' book, Description de l'Egypte. He accompanied Napoleon on Napoleon's campaigns, and so by 1802 knowledge is coming out, and in 1803 the Marquis of Buckingham has built a fairly amazing space in his house as an Egyptian temple. At the end of the hall there are two wooden columns in an Egyptian style. We knew there was some sort of sand backing on those. The Conservators have now found it in the walls, so that the whole thing appears to have been painted to resemble the inside of an Egyptian tomb. In niches on the wall there would have been Egyptian style paintings. We're trying to find out whether those were Egyptian or whether they're actually classicised Egyptian, so Roman dress on Egyptian scenes. We know also the central panel of the ceiling had a sign of the zodiac design, which we're trying to trace and put back. And all of this, of course, we've got to do with listed building consent, so we must make sure that everything we do is authentic or reversible. The only things we have are Seeley's description in his guidebooks, Nat's engravings of the space, and then the sales catalogues, and we're trying to use those to build the picture of exactly how we put the fixtures and fittings back in here, so we get the right sphinxes, we get the right designs on the wall. The Seeley guidebook for Stowe describes a sarcophagus holding a stone stove. Again, what's been uncovered in the process on the wall is the mark of exactly where that sarcophagus would have been positioned against the wall. We already had the marks on the stone floor, knowing its rough extent, so we're able now to construct something that represents what that sarcophagus cum heating element, it's been described as a radiator cosy, what that would have looked like, and we're aiming to put that back. And at the other end of the hall, we're aiming at the foot of the stairs to put back in the two sphinxes which would have guarded the hall, the stairs up into North Hall. We've always said with the restoration of Stowe House that we want to align scholarship and physical understanding of the building in order to get the right restoration back to the sort of period we're looking at. And in this case, because we had such little evidence, we decided the best thing to do is to commission someone specifically to start looking at the evidence that we had. So we asked Hettie to piece together as much evidence as she could to find out what happened to those canvas paintings, the sphinxes, and the zodiac design from the central panel of the ceiling.
Basically working from two images that we've got. We've got one from the east and one from the west, two sketches. And those are all we have to go by in terms of the 7 panels, 2 glass panels, and also the sarcophagus and sphinxes as well. Sphinxes, we're not sure as to the provenance and material of our sphinxes, so we've been piecing together contemporary examples, and we need to decide really whether or not we're going to go for Greco-Egyptian, like those at Chiswick House, or whether we're going to go for a more Greco-Roman example, like those at Compton Verney, for example. We've got a pretty good image of the sarcophagus, and several external academics have confirmed that it is very Sonian in design. So in terms of recreating it, and also the dimensions that we can tell by the scars on the wall and the floor, we'd probably be able to make quite a convincing replica.
What we're really keen to do is get away from this bland cream that's graced the walls for the last 90 years and get it back to the sand texture and the proper feel of the space that the Marquis intended to create.